them tears gon' come and go. Baby, you just gotta make up your mind that every little thing's gonna be alright. Baby, don't you know all of them tears gon' come and go. Baby, you just gotta make up your mind. We decided we're gonna be alright.
Hi guys, so I'm back from Mexico. My haircut still looks cute. So it's been a week since I got a haircut. It's been about maybe like over a week. Oh my god, it's about to be 2 weeks actually since I came back from Mexico. Yeah, cause I like needed a break after that month-long vlog. But today I wanted to talk about cause like when I went to Mexico, I didn't really get to experience anything supernatural, and like obviously I don't want anything like evil or anything to haunt me. But it's just like when I go to Mexico, something supernatural always happens to me, and this time it was kind of silent. The only thing supernatural or creepy that I did was go to the Panteon, which is the cemetery, and I saw the mummies or the momias. And it was kind of crazy because my mom actually knew one of them, and his name was Satanas, and that basically translates to Satan. So I don't know, but he got hit by a car, and it's really tragic. And now he's a momia there. But for this video, I kind of just wanted to talk about like my supernatural experiences in the past when I've gone to Mexico. And then also I wanted to talk a little bit about La Llorona, because in my vlog I did mention her, but it was just like for like 5 seconds. But nothing supernatural happened to me. So I'm gonna tell three scary stories that happened to me, and then I think I'm gonna talk about the legend of La Llorona first, just like the backstory of that, just to get out the way, just to set the mood. And also I think it's because I want to do more scary story times or scary videos, and I don't know, I haven't done that in a while on this channel. Like the last video I think I did was like Pokemon creepypastas, which I really enjoyed making. So today I'm just gonna give you another horror little nugget or something. This is the story of La Llorona. I don't know why I said it like that. La Llorona. So they say if you're out late at night near a river or a quiet street and you hear a woman weeping for her children, run, because by then it might already be too late. This is the tale of La Llorona, the weeping woman, one of the most feared and legendary spirits across all of Mexico and Latin America. But before she was a ghost, she was a woman named Maria. So this is the backstory. Long ago, in a small Mexican village lived a beautiful woman named Maria. Some say she was born to a poor family, but admired by all for her elegance, her striking looks, and her presence that turned heads wherever she went. She took pride in her beauty, and many men tried to win her heart. One day, a wealthy Spanish nobleman passed through the village. Maria caught his eye and was enchanted. He showered her with gifts and promises of a better life, and soon the two were married. They had 2 sons together. For a time, Maria believed she was living her dream. But as the years passed, the nobleman began to change. He traveled more, stayed away longer, and when he returned, he paid little attention to Maria. He gave all his love to the children, but not to her. Eventually, the unthinkable happened. He returned to the village with a new woman, a woman of his own class, and announced his intention to leave Maria behind. Heartbroken and humiliated and consumed by rage, Maria snapped. In a moment of madness, she led her 2 sons to the river and drowned them. The horror of what she has done hit her instantly. She searched the water, screamed for them to come back. But it was too late. Overwhelmed by grief and guilt, Maria threw herself into the river. But when she reached the gate of the afterlife, she was turned away, cursed to walk the earth for eternity until she found her lost children. Now her spirit is doomed to wander near rivers, lakes, and empty streets, crying out with that chilling wail. Ay, mis hijos, ¿dónde están mis hijos? Oh, my children, where are my children? Locals claim she wears a white, tattered dress soaked from the river. Her face is hidden beneath the veil, but her sobs are unmistakable. And if you get too close, if she mistakes you for her child, she may try to take you with her. So if you're ever out at night and hear a woman crying near the water, don't look back. Don't try to help, because it might not be a woman at all. It might be La Llorona. And once she finds you, she never lets go. That's set the mood for today's video. Now I'm gonna give my experience with La Llorona twice. I don't know if the second time it was La Llorona for real, but the first time I heard La Llorona, I think I was maybe like 6 to 9 years old. I really don't remember. I just remember I was at my cousin's house, and in the vlog I do mention that I was at my cousin's house, but this is like their old place, like the place they were renting, which was right in front of my grandma's house, which is like in a barrio, and like basically on this side of the street is my grandma, and on this side there's like a little small little alleyway, and then there's like an apartment kind of complex, and that's where my padrinos lived, and then that's where we were staying at, like, because there was no space at my grandma's house, and that's where my mom used to sleep before years later they made the apartment for my parents. So this night I just remembered, like, I got ready for bed. I remember their like house, or like the apartment my cousins used to rent. It was pretty big, and they had lots of rooms, and my cousins, the two girls, they're around my sister's age, so they're like 5 to maybe like 8 years older than me at the time. So if I was like 5 or 6, then they were probably already like in their teen years, and their room faced basically like the outside, like where the little alleyway is for all the other apartments, but you could, like, from the street you could still enter that house basically. And when I went like recently to Mexico, like a month ago, I didn't really go to that street because like I don't know who lives there anymore, but like I wish I did, so I could take like photos of like the outside so you could see. But basically we like put all the beds together so we can make like one big bed, and we put the couch, because they had like a long couch that they put like on the side of the bed, so I can make like the bed kind of feel bigger. And then no one was like near the window, and that night I think it was like raining, and I just remembered like I heard like someone like wailing outside the window. And at first I was like confused. I was like, who is outside at this time? But I wasn't scared. And then like the funny thing about it, my cousins turned on the radio because they were like, oh, this is a normal occurrence. We hear that woman wailing at night, like occasionally, and it's kind of annoying. So they just like put the radio on to like drown out her wailings. And I just thought that was weird, because I was like, so is no one gonna help her? And they just rolled over and went back to sleep, and I just went to sleep too because no one was scared. But I don't remember if like they tapped on the window, because like it faced the alley. And yeah, that's basically the first story. The next story, I was a little bit older when I returned, so I was probably like 10. I remember I was like 10 to 12, like around that time. And my family is very religious, so my grandma is like a devout Catholic woman, just like my mom. And every night they would want us to pray the rosary. And if you ever prayed the rosary, it takes forever. I really don't like it. I'm sorry to all the Catholics I'm offending. But I don't like praying the rosary. It's just too, like, for me, it's just too long. And like to this day, I could pray the rosary if I wanted to, because it's like they ingrain it in you. But I remember this time I was like, I am not gonna pray today. So I was like, did you pray today?
Did you pray today?
But I didn't pray. So then I went outside my grandma's house. Everybody was inside, and her house is really small. Like, it's like a hallway basically. Like, that's how big her house is in the barrio, and it's like up a hill. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go wait outside, and y'all can finish praying in like, usually it takes like 15 to 30 minutes depending on which rosary or rosario you're praying. And if you know, every day has a different like different prayer you have to say. But that day I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just get my snacks from Cenar, like from like the Guadalajara pharmacy, like they had snacks. And I think that day I got some, and I was just outside waiting for them to finish. And then like I was just outside by the door, sitting on the the big ass sidewalks, because you know when you go to Mexico, them sidewalks are big as hell. And then I saw this like woman like coming up from up the hill, and I feel like she came from the alleyway. 'Cause remember, my cousins lived like right in front. Like basically, this is where my grandma was. This the middle was the two-way, not the two-way street, the one-way street, and on the other side is the other houses, and then there is an alleyway. So I feel like the lady did come from the alleyway, but I'm not too sure. But she had like a cloak on, and her outfit was very old. And I just remember I was like, what? Like it was like I remember it was like 9 p.m. And I was like, why is this woman wearing like a cloak? Like it's not even that cold. It's the summer. And then like I never even like approached her. I was just like on my side of the sidewalk, and she was on the other side of the sidewalk, on the opposite side. And you couldn't see her face, and she just was like walking really slow, like from up the hill down, and then she was now like parallel to me, and she was just like walking. And then like I was like, she's giving me like a weird vibe. And then she turned around, and like her face was glowing, like you couldn't see her face, it was just like light. So I'm like, I don't know if that was the Llorona or like some supernatural being. And then like she went down the what's it called, the sidewalk, and she like turned the block, and she disappeared. And I didn't even tell my parents or nothing. I was just still outside, because I if I would have told them, they would be like, it's because you're not praying and that was the devil or something. And I'm like, so that was my second experience. I'm actually gonna talk about, I just remember this other story. So I know I said I was gonna do 3 stories, but I might do 4. Surprise, scary story time video. But another from that barrio, because I think where we stay at, like where my grandma is, where my cousin's old house was, and where the departamento is, or apartment, that's called Barrio Rosario in La Chona. And it's like right almost to the plaza, where the center of La Chona is. But like in our barrio, there's like a church there too. But anyways, like on the side where my cousins live, if you go down the street, I think, yeah, down the street, there's like one street, and then you go down the sidewalk again, and then on the other street across is like the apartment. But I'm not sure. I think it was on the first street, like that one's more empty. My cousins, I don't know if they were just telling me the story because they were like trying to scare me, but they basically said that there's like an apparition of this little boy who got like ran over in that street, like the next block over or whatever. And they said that he like was playing with the ball, and like he got ran over and killed. And at night, if the streets are empty, not actually, I don't think it was the night. I think they say like early in the morning, that's when he comes out. Like it's still like dark, but it's about to be morning basically. I think it's like dawn, but like right before dawn. And basically, like if it's empty and you walk down that like street, you can sometimes hear like the ball bouncing, and like he might appear and like try to play with you. And I was like, that's interesting. I've never saw that apparition. There's this also, okay, I'm just like remembering all these stories that they were telling me before I get to the final story. So I guess the fourth story, the fourth story, this is more, I don't know if this is like a crack ghost story, but basically there is this lady, and it's weird because it's like all around the same barrio where we're staying at. But they were basically saying that this lady was a prostitute, and she used to wear like high heels, and something happened to her, and then like she died, and then you can hear her spirits like basically clacking in the sidewalk, I guess trying to pick up guys or whatever. And they said she has like red high heels, and they call her La Tacona, the boot woman. I don't know, but basically they're like, oh, where your departamento is, or your apartment, she passes by that corner. Because remember, if you've seen the vlog, the apartment is in a corner. She passes by that part too. So you might, like, if it's nighttime and you hear some like clacking sounds, it's gonna be her. And I'm like, I've stayed there a long time downstairs. I've never heard her. I have like in previous stories, I have heard La Llorona, and oh my god, this is not really like a long story, but like where my other grandma lives, she lives like if you go to the plaza and you go up that long like street that's like very, what's that word, um inclined, it's like this, you go all the way up, that's where my dad grew up, and that's where my grandma that passed away, she used to live, um and she's like right next to the pantheon, like a block away, not even a block away, like right there where the cemetery is. And then they used to say that it's because like they close the cemeteries over there pretty early, but like they say you can hear like kids or like a kid ghost like trying to get out the cemetery or trying to lure you in. For what reason we don't know, or I don't know, but like when I went in 2019, I swear I saw something because we were like, my grandma's house is still there, so you have to pass the cemetery. I swear I saw something like moving, but you know what, I'm not gonna like. Oh my god, I just remembered, actually, I just remembered, since this is kind of like the Llorona theme. When I went in 2019, I actually did hear her crying or wailing at night. And this is when like I still had Snapchat, and I recorded her, and then no one was believing me. And then I woke up my younger sister came with me, and I was like, do you hear that? And she heard it. And then I played back the recording, and I'm trying to like, I don't even know what happened to that video. Like, oh my god, I feel like I'm such a like a fake person right now, because like I'm like, you just gotta take my word for it. But I had the recording, and I remember like I remember I got back from Mexico, and I showed it to my older sister, or like I showed it to somebody, but I don't know, like when Snapchat does like those updates, I feel like it just got deleted or it didn't save or something. Like I do have some stuff saved from 2019 on Snapchat, but that video I don't have. And also another coincidence or like another missed opportunity is that's when I first started YouTube in 2019. And I remember I was gonna vlog when I went to Mexico for like 2 weeks in 2019 or 3 weeks, and I never did because I got lazy. But this time I locked in. But now I wish I like kept the recording, because, well, I don't know if it was like Llorona, but since we're like so close, because like basically my grandma from my dad's mom, her house is also in the corner. So my mom's house is not in the corner. It's like in a barrio where the street is. But my dad's mom's house is like in a corner too. So basically, like when we were sleeping in her house, our room was basically facing. This is like the street, and this is where we were. And then across the street, there's like another set of buildings, and then on the next street, that's where the cemetery is. And on that direction, we heard like the wailing. And I remember I recorded, because I'm like, no one's like, I'm not fucking crazy. And then like, I don't know if it was a Llorona or the spirits from the Pantheon. But when you go to the Pantheon, it just, for me personally, it just feels very heavy there. Like, I just feel very heavy. It is peaceful during the day, but like, it still feels heavy. And like, I can't even imagine going at night. Like, I would be kind of scared. And then like, I personally do want a spirit box, because I do want to make videos like talking to like ghosts and stuff, but I know like that can like follow you, so I'm like, I don't even know. But like, I'm just like very open to the spiritual world. So I believe a lot of things that I guess skeptical people don't believe in, but I'm pretty open to it. Like, you have to like work pretty hard for me to convince me that it's not real. But some stuff like deep fakes online, I know that's not real. Like videos like in those like top 5 videos, there's like top 5 videos caught on film, and then you watch it and you're like, this is fake as fuck. But like, okay, the final story, this video is already getting kind of long. I just got excited to talk about scary stuff because I love scary stuff. Okay, sorry. So this is the final story, and this is a story my grandma told me on my mom's side, that basically my mom's mom, like, what happened to my uncle, so my mom's brothers, when they weren't listening to her. And I feel like maybe this is just a cautionary tale she made up, but I'm like, everybody tells it and everybody's scared. So basically, this is the story. So they were like young adults in their early 20s, and they wanted to go to a party like out at night, and it was like I think 3 brothers that went to go, and they basically snuck out, and they went without my grandma's permission, and they just went like out to have fun at night. They went to party, and it was like already about to be like It was like midnight to like 3 a.m. I don't know, like, maybe the witching hour. And they were pretty drunk. And they were in their car, and on their way back they saw like a really beautiful woman, and she wanted like a ride. She wanted to hitchhike back to town, to La Chona. And also during this time, my grandma was praying to God to like punish her children for disobeying her, which I'm like, first of all, that's kind of crazy. Why are you praying to God to punish people? Like, in my personal opinion, that's kind of a little demonic of you, but to each their own. If she sees this video, hi. We kind of have beef. Me and my grandma kind of have beef. Like, we kind of have beef. If you know me in real life, I'd be talking about it. But we didn't have beef this time when I went to Mexico. But basically, she was praying. She was basically praying for estate quieto, which basically means like to like reprimand, basically. So God to interfere to reprimand her kids. And so during this time, they were picking up the hitchhiker, and they said she was really beautiful. I think her brothers told me to my face too, because I asked one of them. It was 3 of them. I think I asked the younger one, and he said it's true. So I don't know. But also, I was really young when they told me this story, and it's still like imprinted in my mind. But basically, they picked up the hitchhiker girl, and then they took her they were driving a few miles before like one of the brothers looked down, and they saw that her feet weren't. Oh, sorry. They saw that her feet weren't actually feet. One of her feet was a horse's foot, and then another one was a chicken foot. And if you know, in Mexican lore, that's usually like a demon or the devil paying you a visit, and that's a dead giveaway. When you look at its feet and it's like an animal's feet, then it's the devil. So then they fucking freaked out, and they like stopped the car. And during this time, they said it was very foggy, so you can't really see that well either. They stopped in the middle of the road. They all got out, and then the woman just got out the car, and she just walked away. And I think she said, you need to obey your mom or something. And then she just disappeared into the night. And then yeah, they got back to my grandma, and they told her, and then my grandma was just like, see, that's what you get for going to the party without my permission. But I'm like, okay, first of all, they're young adults, but also, why is my grandma telling like 20-something-year-olds they can't go to, I don't know, it's like different back then, more traditional. I also find it very demonic that she was like basically evoking this spirit to come basically tell them to not disobey her. So I'm like, I don't know. Also, seeing that demon or ghost or whatever that was would freak me the fuck out. But knowing me, I would be curious. I'm like, where, who are you? Q&A. I probably will put on my camera and be like, you want to do like a Q&A? Like, what faction of like the underworld do you work in? Is the underworld real? Like, is this just like a figment of our imaginations because we're all like crazy? But yeah, thank you for watching. These are my technically 3 main stories, but 2 minor stories. So it's like 5 stories, and then like the backstory of La Llorona, just to start off the video. But let me know if you guys want more scary stories like this. I love scary stories. I just wanted to like kick off July with another scary story. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Stay safe, like, comment, and subscribe on this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Did you pray today? Did you pray today? I get down on some gangster. I get you down on some. Did you pray today? Did you pray today?